In Rajasthan, India, 3 friends would set up a camera and record themselves as they jumped into a pond, despite none of them knowing how to swim. And when the men would jump in, they would quickly come to the grim realization that the water wasn't as shallow as they expected, naturally causing panic to set in and lots of splashing to begin before all 3 would eventually sink under the water and not come back up. Unfortunately for the 3 men, there was no one in the vicinity that could have helped them, causing them to all sadly lose their lives in one of the most terrifying ways imaginable. On a small private plane flying over South Africa, one of the men on board would begin to record as they had heard an explosion followed by fire under the left wing of the plane. The man kept recording and everyone on board stayed relatively calm, seemingly unaware that the plane was about to go down and cause a catastrophic incident.
This is getting bad. This is getting very bad. Oh, yeah, low battery. Can you? Als je dat cut, dan moet je de engine cut. Zoals je dan kan maken.
After the plane would crash, it would take a few hours for rescue to arrive, where it was discovered that out of the 19 flying, 2 people had died and all the others were gravely injured, and after the fact, it was determined that the plane should have never been in the air to begin with, making the situation even more devastating. In Las Vegas, Nevada, police received a call in the early morning hours about a home invasion taking place, and when police would arrive to the home, they would kick the front door down before quickly searching the house and stumbling upon 2 people struggling for a knife, and this is when one of the officers would up his weapon and shoot and kill the homeowner, who was the one with his shirt off, thinking he was the intruder instead of the real suspect in the hoodie.
10 medium build, red beanie, wearing a black sweatshirt and dark colored pants.
Hey, they said they made entry. We got to go in there.
Yeah, we got to go in. Hey, one we have our broken window and we're going to make entry.
Yeah, kick it!
Metro Police!
Metro Police!
Metro Police!
Metro Police! Hey!
Hey! Hey, drop the knife!
Disturbing body cam video just released showing a deadly police shooting by Las Vegas police following a 911 call for help. In this video, you see police shoot and kill a man who they later learn is the man who owns the home and is the one who called 911 for help. The lead officer sees two people struggling in a bedroom doorway, both holding onto a knife.
Hey, drop the knife! Drop the knife!
The officer then opens fire on the person on the right, who turned out to be the homeowner who called 911 for help. After Brandon Durham, a local realtor, falls to the floor of the bedroom, the officer shoots him 5 more times. The other person in the red beanie has been identified as 31-year-old Alexander Boudreau, now under arrest and facing numerous charges. Police recovering 2 large knives at the scene. The motive for the break-in not known. An internal affairs investigation into the officer's actions now underway.
In Lake County, Florida, a group of 4 women went live on Facebook after a night out together, and during this live stream, the women would show off alcohol while driving and even brag about how fast they were driving, but little did they know that moments later, their lives would be forever ruined.
Murder, you should have seen the look on his mama. And last brother locked up every song. Come on, man. You know by ducking through boys every motherfucking morning. And in the plus, you know, the jacket, nigga, your motherfucking family, your daughter, and they're fucking on the way. Pay attention to the water. Never focus on their words. Pay attention to the action. Get a real nigga, make it. Hey, I know. On the ship, you can call me the captain. Call us the audience, my whole team like that. You know what? In this big ass being blowing that dodo. That Mike Tyson, we that's what I got for shadow. Looking through my neighborhood, wondering when we gonna come up. When we gonna stop fumbling? Stop all that pet ass robbery and get some money. If it ain't the blood, tell them, man. Right about me, right about me. Change the game. Get your head gone. Let your pussy and mama later for 2 years.
After the driver named Shaquilla Mathis would lose control of the vehicle, the car would veer off the road and quickly crash into a light pole. And since none of the women were wearing seatbelts, all 4 were ejected, leaving 3 deceased and 1 in critical condition. In Cornwall, England, a photographer and filmmaker named Jacob Cockle had a passion for capturing water-related content, and on May 28, 2013, Jacob would immerse himself in the middle of a whirlpool he spotted in a river and record himself being spun around by the force of the water. But little did he know that he was in his final moments of life, as not too long after, the water would pull him under and not allow him to re-emerge. Jacob's body was found hours after being sucked underwater, and he was airlifted to a hospital, but unsurprisingly, by the time help would arrive, it was far too late for any chance of survival for Jacob.